wanted to touch base on 3 things that happened. I finally have an updated bio. I will not miss something so scientifically, naturally great, being capable of something insanely unimaginable. A heist. Driving home, like talking to myself, like, God damn it, you cannot tell people that they cannot do something because they did it, right? It is $30 million. Money can't buy you happiness, but it will make sure that your bills are paid and that you live a stress-free life in a way. So welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. I am Shaunda. Hello, everyone. I wanted to touch base on 3 things that happened. This is six fingers that I just put up, but 3 things I wanted to say that I wanted to touch base on this week. One is that I finally have an updated bio. I said months ago, that I'm working on updating it, and, it hit for me. This is the reason why I started it and whatnot. And my first bio was like, cool. But as time goes on and as I recorded, as you've seen, it became a flow and figuring out what I wanted to talk about and what this podcast means to me. It's been a little bit tough, but I feel like I figured it all out in a way. But I feel like this new updated bio is very close. Very, very, I'm going to say actually not close, exactly of what I've been doing. So here it is. If you haven't seen it on any of my socials, I posted it there. But if not, I'm just going to tell you right here. Having a personal journal is one thing. Having your personal journal and don't mind sharing with anyone is another. We ask questions and listen to people's stories. We take information in and do what we want with it. So everyone's stories, thoughts, and opinions matter. I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda is a podcast where I share my feelings, thoughts, and actions on life, experiences, topics, and events. Now, with it, this is going to be open up for everybody because, like I said, I would love to still have people on and get their thoughts and opinions on stuff and just see how it is. That is what I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda is all about, I would say. So we'll see where this leads me, but I'm very happy that I have an updated bio. Boom. The second thing that hit me, the biggest thing that happened was the eclipse, because the eclipse happened and it was very, very nice to see. I want to say I missed it. The first time, I want to say a couple years back, I missed that eclipse and I heard that was beautiful. I was seeing all the celebrities and people on the social media and just looking up and like, wow. I was telling myself, this time I will not miss such a thing. I will not miss something so scientifically, naturally great. Okay, that's what I said. I wanted to see this. So those run together. So I was at work when it was happening, and I was with a customer, and it got dark, and I completely forgot that it was the eclipse that was happening. So when I looked, I said, "Oh my gosh, there's no cloudiness. There's no clouds. It's still rain. Oh right, the eclipse." I'm seeing people outside looking up, and I'm like, "Oh man, I don't have any glasses, so I am gonna miss it." But the building next door to me, the person inside had their one little eye thing. And she said, "You're going to cover up your eye. You're going to look up into that one and you see what the eclipse." And I'm like, nice. Before I got there, let me just go back a little bit. Let me rewind a little bit. I was with the customer in the store when it got dark, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the eclipse." And I was like, I actually thought that today's the day that he's coming. Today's the day that he rises. Today's the day is justice. It's happening. And I was like, nah, it's the eclipse. Now, fast forward to me getting the glasses. I went up, I looked into it, and I'm like, wow, it's insanely cool, amazing that I got to see it. It gave me Marvel vibes where I'm like, oh snap, this is really cool. The aliens are gonna come out, and it finally happens. The other thing was like, oh snap, if you've seen Castlevania on Netflix and the newest one of the not revamp, but it's another one, I forgot what it was, Nocturnal, is out, and how she controlled darkness. And I'm like, yo, it's the vampire part, they coming. But it was really cool seeing it. That's all I have to say. The eclipse was really nice to witness. So, yeah. And then another thing that I read is that NASA asked people to see if, their things change in animals as the eclipse happened, or seeing if something was a little bit off with them. I didn't really see any craziness. The birds were out and I didn't see any squirrels. It's barely anything of my work area. So, yeah. Hope you checked your dogs and your cats if they act a little bit weird, but I feel like it was a normal thing. I feel like they were okay. Don't know. But hey, that was the second thing. The third thing that I want to say, this whole thing that I've been very upset about and angry about, was I was with my mom. We were watching Dateline and watching a woman, get arrested for killing a lover, her boyfriend's lover. But it, as they explained throughout the Dateline show, is the person that she was seeing that she had to get away from the crime scene and whatnot. Hopefully this makes sense. He was saying that, you never really know a person. He didn't know that she was a killer. She was very normal. Nothing gave off killer. And I was like, dang, that's crazy, wild. So I looked down at my phone and I'm just on Instagram, and I think it was I follow an Instagram page called Facts Daily. Just confirm. Yes, Facts Daily. And I looked down at my phone and this is what I saw. Thieves steal $30 million from a vault in one of LA's biggest ever heists, leaving without a trace. Cops have no idea how they did it. And I was blown. I was so angry. My mom was looking like, I'm like, Mom, she was like, really laughing at me about it. But I'm like, are you serious? You don't know how many times for me as a kid and seeing all the movies and whatnot, and it's like, oh snap, a robbery is taking place. And, I've seen Pineapple Express and just seeing that and just seeing all the movies, like, yeah, that's cool. Want to do it. My mom, and of course, real life, it can never happen. It can't be done. No. Three things that popped up in my head. One, I get caught, go to jail. Two, I die in the process. Three, I get away with it without a trace. Seeing all the influencers, like on the other side, we see all the influencers and celebrities say, be yourself, chase your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you can't do something, right? Was like a whole thing. And this was like going through my mind. And I'm like, you cannot tell anybody that they can't do something because they did it. A heist. Like, this isn't a robbery that it's like in the convenience store, just give me all the stuff out of your register. This was a heist. This was planned. The person, whoever these people are, had a plan. This could have been in a time frame of months of them leading up to this, or years. But I could only imagine the trust and not knowing the person who you're sitting in a car across to, of a coworker, and like them being capable of something insanely unimaginable. A heist. And not like, so I'm just thinking about, this person that had to be like employee of the month. Like, you've been invited out to somebody's house because that's the trust. But in the back end, it's like there's maps, there's times, there's a routine that had to be like in place for these people to make sure that there's no mistakes in this. There's no trace of these people. And from what I read, just the mathed, okay? They worked that out. Like, apparently, like, there was a hole on the side of the building that they got into. This vault was in a warehouse. The warehouse it didn't seem dead. Like they said that there was like people in the area, like a trailer park near the side, and some towns away. But it was a trailer park near the side. And from what the people said is that their Wi-Fi was jammed. And they feel like it could have been a part of the heist, because in the article that I read, there was an alarm that got set off, but it wasn't the kind of alarm that would get a police out there. It was, I believe the alarm was through a third party. And it made me think about like where I work, our alarm system, we have guardian protection. And when the alarm for us isn't disarmed quick enough, it sends the alarm like in a different sound. And then once we disarm it, we get a call. And we would confirm that it's us, that's it. But I can only imagine that if there was no confirmation, the police would be right outside the door. In this case, and in this instance, the warehouse, no police came. And I don't know the time frame of how fast these people got out, because there is no trace of any evidence that, you know, there was anybody here. We just know that the money is gone. But from the article that I read, it said that they came down from the roof and got into this building, got $30 million out and left. And the person like said, like, if it was all $100 bills, it is still a lot of money to move. And if it was even smaller, the time and the money is very, very hard to move. So they talked about, like, us, we use Brinks. I forgot the money bag carrier people that they have. So it's just very different, but I believe it's those trucks that they use to get that money out. Again, there is no trace of these people. There's nothing at all. And that's what the whole mind-blowing thing to me is, because there's no slip up right now. This is still under investigation. And it's crazy because in the article, they also said that, you know, they're going to have to watch out within like years of like, if there is money moved or somebody who spends this money somewhere, they are still going to be looking out for that. But if I was a part of this heist, it's very hard not for me not to pat myself on the back that we pulled off something that hasn't happened in years. They planned it. This was an idea first, okay? An idea that was planned and executed perfectly. My end is what I feel bad about. And this is why I was like upset, because I was upset. I was really pissed off. I was driving home, like talking to myself, like, God damn it, you cannot tell people that they cannot do something because they did it, right? And I believe another article that I read in this is that they said that the money belonged to other businesses. So one part of me actually did feel horrible that these businesses do not have the money that they need for their business to get better, or you know what I mean. I feel bad, yes. But there was also one side of me that really congratulated these people, because they pulled off something that is only in my dreams. And times are hard, right? Times are really, really hard. And whatever portion of that money that they keep, because I definitely feel like that kind of money can't just be all for these people. Don't know how many people it was, but it's money that is needed. And I think that's why I was so upset, because of the fact that it's also money that like anybody needs right now. It's $30 million. You know, money can't buy you happiness, but it will make sure that your bills are paid and that you live a stress-free life in a way. So I was disappointed it wasn't me. I was very happy that it's cool that it was pulled off, and will there be another one type of deal. But go for what you want. This is so bad, because I think of all the people who could be listening to this, but it's just like, it was true. Like it's a really I don't even know the word for it. It's just a crazy thing. It's a wild thing that I just felt in my head that it would just never happen. And then reading it, I'm like, wow. that really, really happened. $30 million. $30 million. And it's still an investigation that's going on. Like, this just happened. This happened Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And that was really cool. Really, really cool. You never know. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. Please remember to rate, like, comment, and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can comment or DM me, or if you have any thoughts on what I've talked about in this episode, please email me at imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.